Hey friends, I hope you're having a good evening. Welcome to part 3 of our cereal box mixed media portrait canvas. We have our canvas done. We've got a great background going on. The next thing that we want to do is to work on our portrait. I found that the best way to kind of gauge how big you want your portrait to be is to just take a piece of paper, kind of look at your canvas, and then sort of figure it out from there. You know, are you gonna, does it need to be this big? Does it need to be smaller? And of course, I don't know what size box you guys are working with. So for my box here, I'm looking at a portrait that I think should be about this big. I want to draw a face and a neckline and also add some hair in here. Now on this side of the canvas, what I want to do is add some words. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do over there yet. But I thought I'd walk you quickly through the way that I do a portrait. My portraits are very, very simple. There are such wonderful people online who do portrait tutorials, who can teach you to draw a face. Tony Burt is excellent. Willowing Arts is wonderful. Tam at Willowing Arts is just great. And I've taken a couple classes from Tam, and I've got a Tony Burt class to take. But I think sometimes when we start drawing a portrait, we get really wigged out, y'all. We're just trying to make it so perfect. And just remember, when you're doing something, don't kick the life out of it. Have fun with it. It's, you know, it's your portrait. It's your thing. Do what you want to do. There's no doubt that understanding the way that a face is laid out is a great thing, right? I mean, we know that, you know, we start with an oval, and then we cut that oval in half vertically, and then we cut it in half horizontally, and then we cut that in half and that in half as well. So it's super handy to know how to do this, okay? But don't let it just make you miserable if the eyes are wonky, or if, you know, the nose isn't quite right, or if this isn't quite right, or that's not quite right. Just have fun. Just have fun and draw to your heart's content and be happy with your portrait. Be happy with what you're doing. It's your soul's portrait, so just look at it like that. I drew a small circle here. This is basically the crosshairs of our portrait. So I drew a small circle, and then I drew a circle here and a circle here. I know that the nose is going to go right here, and I love the way Tam at Willowing draws her noses. So, you know, that's very simple. Lay in some nostrils right here. I'm drawing a little bit darker than I normally would, so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. And then here, I'm going to start the lips. I never can get my lips straight. So what I've started doing is I do a circle, 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 circle. And that just kind of helps me get the lips straight on the girls that I draw. I grew up watching my uncle draw. He was only 10 years older than me. He was a remarkable artist, and my grandma would sometimes babysit us, and she didn't believe in a lot of toys or a lot of fun. She believed in a lot of quiet, and you just sit down and be quiet and don't bug anything. So my recreation when my grandma was babysitting us was to watch my uncle draw. And, you know, just sit on the sofa with him and watch his pencil move across paper. And I tell you, it was entrancing. It really was. And I still miss him. He passed away when he was 30. But he was a profound influence on my faces, you know, or probably on my art altogether. Okay, I've laid in some lips and a nose. You can see that my lips are just not quite right, and they never get quite right, and I've decided that I'm not going to worry about that. For the eyes, I prefer a line up here. I like my girls to have, some people try and draw in the whole eye area, but I start with a line down here, and then I'm going to pull up an arch like this, being mindful of my line down here. And then I think it's okay if I erase, sorry my table wiggles, y'all. If I erase some of these lines that I've been working with here, I can go ahead and get rid of those. No special eraser for me. I just use the, you know, you can buy these little erasers at the pound shop, or they have them on great sales when school starts. Back to school sales. Okay, now I'm going to work on her eyes a little bit. I'm hoping you can see that. I'm going to kind of zoom in and see if we can get that just a little bit better. Okay, that's a little bit better. I'm going to work on the eyes. I like to do like a half circle here. I like to bring my half circle all the way down to the bottom eyelid. Then I like to do another half circle inside that. It's not quite a half circle, it's kind of like a horseshoe. And then I draw a triangle. This is where my highlight will go. Triangle here, triangle here. I'm going to firm up her eyelid right here. I'm going to give her her proper eyelid right here. And a proper eyelid over here. And then I'm going to give her some eyebrows. I almost can't draw a face without eyebrows. Some folks say that that's the last thing that goes on. Not for me. I gotta see that. Got this one a little too long. Okay, that's looking pretty good. There's a little pink area right over here in the corner of your eye. So I'm going to draw that in. Going to darken the top of the eye just a little bit. Get rid of more lines. I want to add a neck. There's her neck right there. I want to add some hair. I'm using the vertical line here to kind of balance the way the hair should go. Hair shouldn't sit on top of the head. It should come off. Draw in some hair. Give her some shoulders. I'm not sure where her hair should go. I'm trying to decide if it should go behind or, I'm not sure yet. I kind of like it behind. She's a very simple looking girl. I think we're going to keep it like that. Okay. Alright, that's what we got so far. I'm going to darken her face in just a little bit with some pencil. Bring her hair over a little more. Hair over here. Sorry about the wiggly disc. Okay. Alright. She looks kind of cute. Firm up her face over here a little bit. And there we go. There is a little sketch of a girl. I really enjoy doing this, and a lot of times in the morning over coffee I'll knock out a few sketches. It's just a lot of fun. Next thing that we're going to do is add some color to our little girl. I do that a couple of ways. Tonight I'm going to use a little bit of, this is acrylic paint. It's folk art. It's 420 and it's called Linen. So I'm going to put a little bit of that out. What I do is kind of wash color along. I don't like a dark color for her. So she's going to have, I'm using watercolor paper, you guys. You can use whatever you want. So I'm just going to brush some color over her. Being really generous with the water here, because I don't want to cover up the lines that I've just done. Sometimes this, you know, you're pulling water and pulling color, and you might get some streaks and lines. That's okay. Try not to let it trouble you too much. The more you get, you know, the more you do this, the better off, the better you'll get at it. So if you get some, I still get a lot of streaks and lines. I'm still learning. I'm still learning every day. So don't let that trouble you too much. So I'm going to pull all of this in here. And I do like the way, I do like the way that the pencil lines kind of come through here too. I kind of use the pencil lines as shading. Okay. All right. Over here. One side of her neck is a little bit darker than the other. Tam at Willowing Arts is an expert on shading. I mean, it's like, it's really remarkable to watch her work. It is like wildly wonderful. You've got to go. It's Willowing Arts or willowing.ning.com. I can't remember exactly what it is. Okay, her face needs to dry for just a minute. And while her face is drying, let's go in and give her some hair. I'm kind of looking at this and I'm thinking I mean, we do have a lot of yellow here, so I kind of want to stay away from blonde hair. So let's just do, this is Craft Smart Espresso. So I think we're just going to kind of mix a little bit of espresso in with some of this linen and kind of give her some hair here. She's got kind of dark hair. I also really love Tony Burt. You know, I feel kind of funny sitting here going, oh, I'm going to teach you to do a portrait. When there are so many great people doing that. But, you know, I thought, you know, we'll just do something a little bit different. I am by no means a painter, but there's something about painting that I just really love. But I'm not a painter. But that's okay. I'm not a drawer either. I'm not a very strong drawer. Like, if you told me to draw a bird, it would be like, oh, no. I can't do that. We're getting some nice shades in for her hair. Let's bring that around. Now I'm kind of liking her with short hair. What to do about that? Well, I mean, I guess I could do that. She could have short hair. Alright, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I kind of like that. I like her with short hair. Alright, we might have to go with short hair girl here. Yeah, I do. I like that a lot. She's just going to have short hair. She's got one of those blunt kind of haircuts. Okay. Okay, I need to let that dry just a minute. And then we can work on her eyes. I don't go all the way to the edge of her face, and I'll show you why in a minute. I use pencil to kind of take care of that area. Okay, I like that. All right, I'm going to step away for just a minute and let this dry, and then I will be right back. I have dried my little portrait just a little bit, and we're ready to go ahead and work on her eyes. The way I do my eyes is definitely a Tamara Laporte influence. I use ink tints pencils. You can use any sort of water-soluble pencil, and I do highly recommend pencils because it's just really easy to stand the lines, and the eyes are kind of details sort of oriented. So first thing I want to do is start out with a little bit of brown, and I just lay down a little bit of brown on one side of her eye, her iris. A very complicated thing is an iris. See, there we go. And then just a little bit of green right here, and a little bit of green. Now something great happens when you activate these colors. I'm using a Derwent water brush. I'm making sure that I take a lot of water out of this brush before I start using it. And then I just pull color around. Be sure you have something to blot with, because sometimes it gets a little bit watery. Just pull a little bit of color around. And then I'm going to take a little bit of that and place that color on her eyelid. I do have a little bit too much right here, so I'm going to try and just blot that just a little bit. While her eyes are drying, I'm going to lay in her lips. Again, using the Derwent ink tints. Whatever kind of water-soluble pencil you have will be just fine. And honestly, I think that I'm going to use a different pencil right here, because I feel like that's a little too, my red might be a little too red. So I've got some Prismacolor here. My sweet son bought me these several years ago, and boy have I used them and used them and used them. This is a crimson red, and I've got a pink here. I'm gonna try the pink first because it might work just fine. Okay, that's okay, but let's activate that with some water and see how that looks. And I may prefer the pink, or pink lips. Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay. This is the cool thing about doing a portrait, y'all. I mean, you can just, you do whatever you want, you know? Do you like her pink lips? I kind of do. I think they sort of suit her. So I think I'm going to stick with the pink. Well, I've got a little bit of pink on my brush. I'm going to probably, well, let's do this. Let's just give her a little bit of pink smudging on her cheeks. No biggie. Just a tiny bit. I'll just activate that with a little bit of water. Okay. I like that. I like the way that looks. Okay. Alright, let's finish up her eyes. I've got a Stabilo .88 fine 0.4 pen. My friend Ping gave this to me, and it's been like one of those indispensable things. You know, sometimes you get those these art supplies that it's like, how did I live without this? And it's like you lived without it for a really long time, but this is just a great pen. It's very fine. Lay in her eyes, her iris, her eyeball. Do the same over here. Just a little bit above her eye, below her eye. This is where the pink is going to go. And we've got that little pink corner in our eye. Just a little bit on her eyelid. Now at this point I am going to go ahead and give her her eyebrows. And if you feel like you messed something up, then just put some gesso over it. You know, it's just not that big a deal. I'm going to go ahead and stabilize my little triangles right here for the highlight in her eyes. To do my irises of my eye, I use a sorry y'all, I'm tired. I'm sorry. I typically use a Sharpie, but I can't find it right now. So we're just going to use this Prismacolor. And go ahead and this is a black Prismacolor marker. To me, just doing that triangle right there helps me avoid using a Sharpie or anything for highlights. I kind of don't like to use a Sharpie because you never know what's going to go on, and you never know how a Sharpie's going to react. And here I am using a Sharpie. We're going to put some white back into her eyes. There we go. Just a little bit. No big fuss or whoop here. I'm just going to put just a little bit of white back in her eyes. While I'm doing that, I need to firm up her nose just a little bit. Like I said, y'all, there are many, many, many wonderful teachers who can teach you how to do a beautiful portrait. I am a big-time novice at this, but I do enjoy it. Making her lips just a little darker here. And I'm going to add my pink in the corners of her eyes. While I was away from you a while ago, I did go and kind of even up these lines here with my pencil. Go ahead and firm up her neck, her shoulders. We cut this out, okay? We're going to cut it out to put it on our canvas. Okay, and I think that's it. I think she looks pretty good. Like I said, this can go, you know, you can just get really obsessed with making it look perfect, or you can make it perfect for you. And your joy in doing it reflects in your art. So be joyful. Do a portrait that you love. I love her. I love that you can take a plain white piece of paper and make a person. So, like I said, you guys, I am not an expert, but this is a lot of fun, and it's really simple, and I hope you'll try it. And join me for our part 4 of this little series where we're going to cut out our girl and go ahead and mount her on our cereal box canvas. Thanks, y'all, for watching. I appreciate it. Bye.